Right, this episode is 42 minutes long. I knew I was right the other week when there was only a 34-minute runtime. That episode was far too short, wasn't it? To be fair, I don't know how much longer they could have dragged out. Tyson is in jail and Stallone is in New York. He's not obeying the jaywalking laws because he's walking here. There would have just been more stuff like that. Anyway, this episode, we saw something happen that resulted in a big change at the top of the food chain. So I figured we'd talk about that. And I also have a prediction for how the series will end. So stick around till the end of the video to find out what that theory is. Right, but before we get into talking about the episode, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. You can always unsubscribe at a later date if you don't like what I'm posting. It's completely free, and no hard feelings if you want to go at a later date. Alright then, showtime.
It's showtime, folks.
We begin the episode with Stallone and the bartender burying a body. They just chuck him in there and call it a day. Remember that Reddit thread where someone suggested burying a body, then a few feet on top of it burying a dead animal? So if a sniffer dog were to find it, they'll dig it up and see the animal and just presume it was a mistake. That's the kind of evil genius Stallone could do with around now. Stallone's daughter, not the one who can't act, calls him and tells him that Emery was mugged. Terrible name. Stallone wants it to move to Tulsa for safety. Tyson is chatting with the cowboy about architecture. It's not important. When one of the fellas from New York turns up in the train station, Stallone asked him to come to Tulsa in the previous episode, but he doesn't like planes. Partly because he can't sneak a gun onto one, so he's been travelling for a week between these two episodes. The guy from New York compliments Tyson on his ring. Where are we? Back in prison. The Irish Ben Kingsley wannabe that we're meant to be intimidated by, but we're just not. He's upset that one of his men didn't return home. He quickly discovers that he's in a shallow grave. He's not happy about it. Meanwhile, the man who has never made anyone laugh in his entire life returns to the dispensary. The place is ruined, but there's a secret compartment in the wall where he was hiding a USB drive. Don't the FBI have detectors to sense stuff like that? They must do. A bit of an oversight on the writer's part, isn't it? Why do people bother microwaving USBs and stuff to get rid of the data when the FBI begins a raid? If they can just hide them in the wall? Massive oversight. If there's anything that you've learned from this series of me reviewing every episode, you've learned that I am very easily irritated. I realise that, but still I have to say, the woman who was being a snitch for Carol from episodes, she is unbearable, isn't she? She does this thing where she's crying through her awful accent and it sounds like someone is torturing a cat.
He went out last night.
Absolutely awful sound. Awful actor. Get her off the screen. And she's back on it. I don't care if what they're saying in this scene is crucial to the episode. I can't bear listening to her bad acting, crying voice. I'm skipping the scene. Carol from episodes goes around to Stallone's house, drunk, and starts dressing him down about how he killed someone related to a case. Why is she here again? She has absolutely no reason not to tell her boss. Oh, I know who killed this fella, and I can tell you loads about him. It doesn't make any sense why she's still on his side, other than the show wants it to be. She's risking everything for nothing. Stupid. Stallone's daughter gets a call from Ghostface from the Scream franchise.
No, you listen, you little bitch. You hang up on me again, I'll cut you like a fish.
I think the Ben Kingsley wannabe killed the woman who had that awful screech in her crying voice. I've got to say, I'm really happy about that. What a result. This show just got bearable again.
To loosen the dirt, dead skin, whatever.
Oh no. God giveth, God taketh away. They've given Stallone's daughter more lines. God, she's an awful actor. Get her off the... oh, she left. If they can kill her character this episode, then I'll be made up. I'm very surprised more people didn't kick off at me for what I said about Stallone's daughter in the previous video. I was a little bit harsh. I watched it yesterday and yeah, I did go a little bit too far, but you know, it made me laugh. That's all that matters really. And I didn't tell any lies. One of the women on the ranch asks Stallone out on a date. She is 69 years old, which means that she is actually age appropriate for Stallone. which means this relationship will never happen. He's much more likely to end up with Carol from Episodes, a woman 30 years his junior. Why do TV shows always do that? Why can't two people of a similar age and level of attractiveness just get together? I'm looking at you, every sitcom ever made. Tell you what, she looks good for a 70-year-old woman, doesn't she? If Stallone doesn't have her, I can't say that. That's someone's grandmother. The guy who isn't funny starts talking about how he loves NFTs, as if he wasn't a loser enough already. Anyway, he reveals that he steals from people who buy Bitcoin, which, fair enough. I know I don't like the fella, but stealing from people who buy Bitcoin is a victimless crime. If you're enough of a loser to buy that stuff, you deserve everything bad that's coming to you. Don't be a crypto bro. Nobody likes you, everyone is embarrassed by you. I found it really unfortunate how many dull moments this episode had. For some reason, it was incredibly slow paced, and would have fit better being 30 odd minutes long. I don't even know where I'm going to title this video because it was that uneventful. I could have genuinely written the plot of this episode on a post-it note. Pam from The Office had a CV that was more detailed. I think the only thing of note that happened was when Chicky drowned the head of the mafia. I suppose that does have consequences for the entire series. It's not much, but it's all we have to work with. Can't exactly title a video The One Where Nothing Happens. It's like an episode of Friends. Stallone goes on a date with the age-appropriate woman, and he kinda ruins the mood by mentioning the time he went to prison for murdering a guy. Yeah, that would kill the mood, wouldn't it? To be honest, I think if anything, she'll like him more after finding out he killed someone. Someone get this woman checked. Someone have a word with the grandma. Now, I said on top of this video that I would be discussing how I think the series will end. So here's that theory. You know how Stallone is being pushed up against a wall by two different sides? The people in New York who don't appreciate how he's been acting, and the bikers who don't like him either. It would make sense for these two groups to team up to take him down, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I reckon they're both gonna turn up to kill Stallone on the same day, and end up taking each other out. Meanwhile, Stallone walks away unharmed. That's what I reckon will happen anyway. Both groups have too big an ego to team up, and that's gonna be their downfall. So yeah, I really don't know what else to say about this episode. It was another letdown. Does anyone else think that the show has been going downhill? It feels weird to say that because I don't remember it ever going uphill. We're only 7 episodes in after all. I don't know. Let me know what you think of the show so far in the comments below. I still don't know where I'm going to call this video. Right, I'm going to call it an end there. Be sure to stick around till the end for the meme of the day. If you've watched this episode and you've enjoyed it, then be sure to subscribe. You can always unsubscribe at a later date if you don't like where I'm posting. It's completely free. And no hard feelings if you want to go at a later date. Right then, this is the meme of the day. Alright, I'll let you go. Bye. Bye.